So today it is Madeline Miller's Circe time. Yeah. Okay. So I had some idea who Circe was, which is perfect. Just some idea, and it's perfect because Circe by Madeline Miller is pretty much like her diary, like her autobiography. And so who Circe is, she's like that. She's that sorceress. She's that enchantress, whatever, who lives on the island of the witch of Aiaia. And she appears in Homer's Odyssey and those other oldie Greeky books. And if you're like, what? Who? It really doesn't matter, because just read this book. It literally follows Circe from innocent little girl Circe all the way to badass demigod Circe. And it spans like 1,000 years or so, because she's like immortal in it. And you see it all happen. And it's like less than 400 pages. And for one of better words, it is beautiful and moving and just lovely and tender and sweet and intimate. And honestly, I have no point of reference for what Miss Miller has created here. So I'm just going to pull some shit out my butt. And so please forgive me in advance. Because what I'm about to say, okay, so you know how like in Lord of the Rings, there's Gimli, son of Gloin, brother of Glenn, or whatever. And even in the films, you're just kind of like, who the fuck is this guy again? Well, in Circe, we're dealing with gods on gods on gods, plus humans and sons and wives and lovers, etc., 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 etc. And you know what? Even when some minor nobody character got some throwaway mention in a passing line, I remembered who it was, because this portrait of Circe is just so lovingly brought to life. It really was like I knew her as a friend, and I could track all of these bit part, ephemeral, peripheral characters across the millennia simply because they were part of my friend Circe's life. I was that present to her and that close to her. And company when saying this, you know how in all of the 7 Harry Potter books, 8 of the Harry Potter movies, including Harry Potter Goes Camping, Harry is still same old Harry, right? Well, in the 400 pages or so of Circe, she becomes unrecognizable. Little girl Circe, badass god Circe, same old Circe, totally different. And the character development is like the language of the book itself, like the way it was written. She develops as subtly, as simply, like right before your eyes. Nothing is hidden, and as absolutely as the seasons. And before you know it, it's winter. And just given the amount of time that this book covers, and despite its focus being solely, like only on Circe, the scope, like all of the shit that gets involved, it feels so epic. So here's the thing. What's actually amazing about how Miss Miller uses language in this book, like her words, is that it's the complete opposite of how I imagine, or like how I actually know, because I studied Latin, those ancient books are written. Because like the language she uses, the syntax even, is simple. You could like, say you plucked a line and looked at it out of context. If you were to just see one sentence, you could like call it plain. There are no Homeric epithets. There's no grammar, like those crazy red lines on a Mad Detective's wall chart. You know what I mean? You know, like if you were to see like a sentence from an old-timey book, you could pick it out, right? You'd recognize it, you know? They have a certain flavor to them. But Miss Miller, her language is followable, and it's written in normal English, and yet somehow it retains that like cool ancient flavor to it, right? I mean, on the level of language alone, it's effing beautiful. And how Miss Miller can command such simple words in a simple way to create such a devastatingly real and devastatingly human portrait of a being, an immortal that is so different to us. She casts a spell. It's spellbinding. And I have to say, it must be a reflection of her love and her dedication and her commitment and her depth of knowledge for and about her subject that it just transmutes her language and imbues it with the intangible. So this is, it's basically a first-person diary point of view of Circe's life, right? Today, I planted some potatoes and fed some pigs. Like, literally. But the book is deceptive. Because somehow, out of nowhere, not only did I totally get Circe, my friend Circe, but I also saw the world through the eyes of other gods too. Of like Zeus and Hermes and Apollo, whatever. And I saw the toll of immortality on these beings. They weren't just capricious, timeless beings with impregnable motivations anymore. Like, why the hell did Zeus turn into a bull and bunk his sister's son's wife kind of thing? I still don't get that. But like, I really got why Athena was such a meddling dick. And I found myself having compassion for these beings. Circe's guilt about Scylla, her dad Glaucus. Like, how the hell did this happen? When did it happen? Fly. Like the seasons, before I knew it, it was spring. And the same goes for the humans too. Daedalus, Icarus, Penelope, Jason. It's again, I swear, my compassion in reading these words, I swear, it is a function of Madeline Miller's love for these characters. It's moving. Finally, right. Wikipedia says Madeline Miller used to be a teacher. Okay. What seriously fucking lucky students. If she taught me the Iliad, can you imagine what it would be like to be a student of hers? Anyway, so we have the character development, we have the language, we have the understanding that I got of what I thought was just the impenetrable psychology of these characters. It's just a beautiful, beautiful book. And hey, wait, you know what? Her next book, this is her second one. Her first was The Song of Achilles. I just read that. I'll review it later. But her next book, apparently, according to Wikipedia, you're going to love this, is Persephone, daughter of Zeus, abducted by Hades, queen of the underworld, and for some reason, in my mind, sexy sex goddess in like sheer, silky, torn black dress. Man, I can't wait.